What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is Lobster Mini season 2024. We're out here in the Florida Keys and we're gonna get it done today. Let's go.
Alright guys, so after a very rough ride, we finally made it here to our first spot. And before we get to the lobster catching, I just wanted to say I hope everyone had a fun and safe mini season. I know it was very chaotic out there, a lot of boats. So let me know how it went for you guys. We personally had a great time out there, caught a lot of lobster and we had fun. And yeah, just let me know down in the comments how it went for you guys. So here's my first dive. Going down here, and you spot the biggest lobster there. It's sitting in a hole all by itself. And tickle him out really quick, and this guy was actually almost escaped. See the noose there, it was kind of flimsy, it wasn't really letting me put it around the tail, and he made a dart there, then a second one, but in the end I managed to catch him here. And the vis on day one, it wasn't too bad here, but it wasn't great either. You can see from the surface here we were in like 12 feet of water, couldn't really make out the bottom. You make out some shapes, but it wasn't great, honestly. Alright, so second dive here. So this spot that we go to, it always holds, you know, a lot of good sized lobster, and there's a decent amount of current here too, so fighting that. But on the way down, you know, looking for the biggest lobster again. And that's the strategy here. You want to get the biggest ones, and then once you get one that's too small, you know, the rest of them are all gonna be small. So this guy tickled him out, put himself right on top of the ledge. Very easy to get him here, so made it very easy for me. And he was a pretty good sized lobster as well. And then I'm gonna give him a quick measure and he should be good. A lot of times with these bigger lobster, you know, you don't even have to measure them, you just know they're good. But we always measure them just to double check everything. So here's a clip of the third lobster, getting my breath up, diving down. And this clip was actually pretty funny. You see here in a bit, the lobster just like floats out of nowhere. I have absolutely no idea where that guy came from. I imagine someone like tickled him out and then went up to go get air or something, but that was pretty funny. He just came up right in front of me, and it was a good sized lobster too. Measure him there. Yeah, he's good. So here's my fourth dive here. Dropping down on this, we're in the same spot here, but it's a little bit off to the side. This whole area is actually full of little rocks and stuff that some of them carry lobster. So here there's a pretty big lobster here, and I've actually never done this before, grabbed the lobster. But I've seen people do it, you know, obviously I messed up there, but this guy starts crawling out, and I'm like, you know what, let's just try to get this guy. He actually looked bigger, and I got him there pretty good. And kind of felt bad leaving that other one there with just the antennas gone. We got that first lobster in the boat, and then went back to the rock to see if we can get the second one that we lost. Diving down here. Checking under the rock, the little one shot in there. We're looking for that big one that was missing the antennas. And I think there I found it. Can't really see with the angle of the camera, but I'm grabbing it out of the cave there. There it is. It's a nice one too. I measured that guy and got him in the boat as well. So after that, we finished up at the first spot, and I think we ended up catching around like 30 something lobster. And our limit was 54, so we still had a bit to go. But honestly, this was like before 11 a.m., so that's pretty good for being that early on day one. But after that, we headed to a different spot and got in the water there. So unfortunately, I wasn't recording, but at this spot, while we were anchoring our boat, another boat actually pulled up like on plane, like within 30 feet or 40 feet of us, and like tried to get on the spot. Luckily my dad was able to drive the boat, like maneuver it right on top of the spot so they wouldn't be able to get in the water. But that's crazy. Like, we had our dive flag up even, and they literally like came right up on us on plane and like tried to get their divers in the spot before us. Luckily we didn't have anybody in the water at the time, and we had just put the dive flag up to get ready to go in the water. But yeah, that was a very weird situation that, you know, that could hopefully be avoided in the future, because that could end up a very bad situation. But anyways, I caught that one lobster here, and that was my limit of 6 lobsters. This guy was legal. He was definitely on the smaller side, but he was just the last one I needed to get my limit. And once everyone else got their limit, we packed everything up and started heading home. Alright guys, we made it back to the dock, and we got a limit of 54 lobsters. We actually got stopped by FWC on the way back in, and they just did a safety check on everything, made sure everything was good and that we had good lobster and everything. So we got that done and everything was good. So we're gonna clean up these lobsters now, show you guys how it's done. I know we've done this many times before on the channel, but let's do it another time for those new viewers. So basically, just take your knife, run it through here, pigtail like that, twist it, and then you're gonna break off a piece of the antenna. And these are actually kind of soft. Yeah, different one. See how the antenna has those little spines on it? So you stick this into the intestinal tract here, and it's gonna grab it, pull it right out. Now you have a clean lobster tail. That's going. Onto the next. Alright guys, so day 2 here of mini season. Pulling up to the first spot here. This little hole we have marked, and a nice big lobster comes out of there. Here the noose is kind of closing on itself too, so it makes it a little difficult for me, but I managed to get him anyways. And he was a pretty good sized lobster too. Give him a quick measure, and he's good. So this is our second spot, and these are some rock ledges we have marked. You can see there's a little lobster back there, and as I start poking around under this ledge, some antennas start to stick out. I think there were like 3 antennae sticking out. There are three different lobster in there, and you see that little one comes out, and there should be like 2 more. So go back up for a breath of air. Going back down and see if we can get those other ones that are hiding back there. That's why it's always good to check under these ledges, because even if you don't see antenna, there could be something in there, and that big one comes out. This one was actually a pretty good size lobster for us. He's good. On day 2 is a little more difficult to find the bigger ones. So those are our third spot. Yeah, third spot here. This is like some holes we have. There's a very rocky bottom, and there's a big lobster there hiding behind a little one. Puts himself right on top of the ledge, and I'm able to just get him with the noose. Give him a measure, and he's good. Still the same spot, their spot. Another one laid out. Another decent sized one. Picking that one in the boat. And here my dad was just driving the boat while we were looking in the water for lobster, because it was really hard to find like a good spot that held a lot of lobster. We were just picking them like one here, one there. This is another spot I dropped on. It was a little deeper here, and you can see this guy is bigger than the other ones we've been catching. This guy was pretty big actually, really nice lobster. And here we actually anchored. That was my 5th lobster, and I believe this is the last one. 6 lobster, and that's my limit. So another really nice lobster hiding there in a hole by himself. I hate when they start walking towards you, because it makes it harder for you to get the noose like closer to their head. Yeah, that was a 6 lobster, that's my limit, and I think after this everyone else was getting their limits, and we headed back home. Alright guys, we made it back to the dock, and we actually found this cool molten, this lobster was about to molt, so these lobsters, they have an exoskeleton, and you can see here his shell is just ready to pop off, and there's a new one underneath. Here as well. That's the old exoskeleton and the new one once they grew out of it. He was probably gonna molt tonight, but we caught him before he was able to do that. So yeah, let's get to cleaning these lobsters now. Well guys, that brings us to the end of our video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was really fun to put together, and stay tuned because soon we will be going out for regular season when that opens up, and I'll have a video coming out for that too. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Take care.
Go back.
Huh?